Hello folks, it's that time again. We're here with the Church Tech Today podcast. My name is Kenny Jahng, your host, and today we're going to talk about what Carey Nieuwhof thinks about using AI for preaching. Now, artificial intelligence is undoubtedly the biggest technological disruption the church has faced for decades. And for pastors, I think the allure is obvious, right? Like, AI can outline a message in seconds. It could summarize complex commentaries. It could even generate full manuscripts if you really wanted to. But I think the question of the day right now is this efficiency coming at a cost to your soul? Is it coming at the cost to your sermon? And so there was a video that Carey Nieuwhof put up on YouTube, and in that recent deep dive into the ethics of AI ministry, Carey Nieuwhof basically issued a sobering reality check, and I think it's worth talking about it today because, well, first of all, let's back up. While Carey is not anti-tech, he is pro-human, right? And so in this recently published YouTube video, Carey argues that while AI makes a fantastic research assistant, it does make for a dangerous preacher. And so if you're a pastor who writes and preaches sermons, I think there are 4 specific warnings that Carey gives about letting AI take the wheel that is worth discussion, both noting yourself, but also I think it's a great, almost like a team meeting discussion to bring up the dangers of AI as a preacher, but it also translates into other facets of ministry. So let's go through it. Here are 4 warnings against using AI for preaching, according to the one and only Carey Nieuwhof. Ready? So the first one he talks about is, it says, it stops you from wrestling with the text, right? So according to Carey, the difficulty of sermon prep is not a bug. That's what he's saying. It's actually a feature. That harshness of the process, the grind, the hours spending reading, praying, staring at a blank screen, wrestling with God over the meaning of a text. Carey is saying that is actually where your spiritual formation happens. And when you outsource that struggle to an algorithm, you might get a finished product, but that's, I think, when you bypass the process that shapes you as a man or a woman of God. And so this is where Carey warns that if you skip the hard work, you stunt your own growth. And, the net of it is, the sermon may be done, but the preacher is undone in a way. The number 2 danger against using AI for preaching, he talks about is it can be intellectually dishonest. And so this is where, in the video, he talks about there's a fine line between research and theft. Yep, that's right. He talks about theft. Like, Carey points out that passing off insights generated by AI as if it were your own, right, your own aha moments, that's actually a form of plagiarism, and he calls it out. It actually is going to sit unwell with a lot of preachers using AI these days, right? So basically, when a congregation sits under your teaching, there is basically an unwritten social contract. And here they assume that the words coming out of your mouth are the result of your study, are a result of your prayer life, and they're from your heart, right? And so standing in the pulpit and delivering a message generated by AI or the machine without disclosing it violates that trust, according to Carey. And the way he puts it, it's a form of theft that pastors really need to take seriously. That's a harsh one. The third danger of using AI for preaching is that your message will lose its authentic resonance. So, have you ever heard a sermon that was basically technically good and perfect even, but felt hollow? And this is where Carey suggests AI written content often suffers from this unhuman quality, right? And so one of the reasons a message lands with power is because it comes from deep within the preacher, and it resonates because it has been filtered through basically the human soul, the human life, with all its pain, its joy, its experience. And an AI algorithm, it's going to mimic emotion, but it can't feel it. And so this is where Carey argues that audiences are intuitive, and they can tell the difference between a word that came from deep conviction and a script one that was generated by predictive text, or something from your own human heart. And so if the message didn't move you during the week, it likely won't move them on Sunday. Okay, danger number 4. The danger of using AI for preaching is that you will never become a true authority. And this is so true, right? Like, this is probably the long-term danger that's easiest to overlook, right? There's all these little things, nitty-gritty in the present tense and the immediate proximity. But long-term, true authority, he says, comes from mastery. I love this idea. And mastery is the result of years and years of digesting ideas, reading widely, synthesizing thoughts. That struggle that you do week in, week out, year after year, all of that is where your authority comes from. And if you rely on AI today to do basically the synthesizing for you, to tell you what all the theologians say rather than you reading what the theologians say and you wrestle with it and you translate it into your own context, at the end of the day, he says that you basically remain a novice. You become a curator of other entities' intelligence, but you're not a cultivator of your own wisdom. And so over time, there's this erosion of study habits that prevents you from ever becoming a true authority on the scriptures, which, if you are a preacher, that's what you're tasked to do, right? And so that's totally a downside. So those are the 4 dangers that he talks about. I mean, bottom line is, he's not saying that you should delete ChatGPT, your account, and you should avoid it at all costs. I know Carey uses AI himself in many ways. He acknowledges AI is a powerful tool for research or administrative tasks or even brainstorming. But when it comes to the sacred task of dividing the word of truth, of going deep into the studies, this is where he's basically issuing the caution flag. You can use AI to find a quote, but don't basically ever let it find your entire message. You don't want it to go and just predictively come up with the core thoughts of what you're supposed to preach on any given Sunday. So I think it's a good reminder. It's a good thing to underline. You want to let the text do its work on you so that you can do your work for them, right? So there you go. It's a great video. He talks about other things in the video, pros and cons of preaching with AI. It's available. You can check out the full article and rundown on ChurchTechToday.com. We actually have his YouTube video there, and you can watch it further. Would love to know your thoughts on these 4 dangers. Are these the top 4? Are there others that we should be thinking about? Let me know, and we'll see you here on the next episode.